Gorgeous. Thank you so much, user. And hi, Seb. But the wood is not dry yet. So it's kind of a lame fire. It fired up really nice and then, just kind of faded out. But you live and you learn. Next year, the wood should be dried out. So it should be much, much better. And Dylan and thank you, Diago. Seb says your hair looks so good, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Psychic medium. Oh my goodness. Good to have you here. And so yeah, just so you guys know, I do brush my hair during the lives, just because you're supposed to brush it like 1,000 times, and I never do it unless I'm talking to you guys. Barbara is here, Bonnie, and very tired. I feel you on that one. Brian, Tango. So what would you guys like to talk about today? I know some of us, we've been building the community here, and I see some of the struggles that some of you guys have. Ronnie says, I definitely would, ma'am, and good. Good. So it's good to be good. It is good to be good. Becoming what? What was that? Fred is here and a lot of people. So, I don't know what this chat box is. Got all these new technical things. So right now, you guys can help me decide. I am still thinking about working on my master's for psychology. I keep learning new things. We need like 3,000 hours after you do your master's, 3,000 hours. And people are saying that you have to like pay to be supervised. So I don't know. One school said it was $135,000 to $150,000, and I'm not too sure. Work on me too. Macaroni Tony, I remember you. Work on you how? Work on you how? So, yeah, it's like, I don't know. I just wish school wasn't so expensive, LOL. I know the school I teach at, it's really nice for the kids. Tell me what it's like in your area of the world or your area of the country. The kids that go to my school get 100% free tuition. I am 6'1", so yes, I am very tall. I'm in the top 1% of human females. So Macaroni says our hearts coming together. Aww. There we go. You just got to keep joining. We'll keep talking. And you guys can share the live, bring more people. Well, let's see, please. When I get to my goal, and then I will stand up. I even do a little 360. Yes, indeed. Talking about Indeed. I've been searching the different salaries for a licensed professional counselor, and it's less than I make now. So it's kind of like, do I really want to go back to school to make less? But that's where my passion is, the mental health in America is really suffering. And there's, what is this? 18% increase, 18% increase in the need for mental health professionals. Macaroni says, when you come into Dallas, well, when I get 10,000 followers, I'm thinking about going, doing little meet and greets for people, kind of, I don't know, little retreats or something like that. I think that would be fun to maybe spend my, what's it called? Spring break doing things like that, or even during the winter. It'd be nice to meet some of you guys. How do you feel about that? Would you guys want to do a little meet and greet, little retreat, and be activities and a message and just enjoying life? I know some of us get so bogged down with work or school. Macaroni says, I'm meeting and greeting you. LOL. There you go. All right. And I'll tell you what, Texas won't be a bad place to go. So, although I am a little worried, they had, hi Jack, they had something on the news today about, I think it was Delta, an aircraft that did not pressurize and people's ears were bleeding and it wasn't good. So Jack says, just dropping in from Virginia to say hi, hello, and hope you're doing great this evening. I am. How are you doing? Macaroni Tony says, I know, right? And Ronnie, come and meet and greet with me, baby. Where are you at, Ronnie? What state or what city? Is it prolapse crowning? What do you mean? Tell me what you mean by that. Yeah, I do mean that. Jack says, just getting back from the fair. Oh, what fair? I just went to, whatchamacallit, the Ren Fair. What kind of fair did you go to? And Indiana, you're not too far. I'm in Michigan. I go to Indiana. I got friends down there. Yeah, we can do Indiana. No. Are you in North or South Indiana? I need to make a trip down to Bloomington. Got a friend that I really need to. So Danville, Pennsylvania County Fairgrounds. So it's like a state fair. Those can be fun. Meet me halfway. Oh, well, we can do something like that. So we got people joining in on YouTube. Conversation is open to what you guys would like to talk about. We're just kind of talking about a meet and greet down the road when I get a few more followers. But the struggles I see, like, it starts in childhood. I see today was a little crazy at school, a lot of energy. We also just had that full whatever moon it was. And it's interesting how the moon affects, but there's a lot of fights today. And, talking about the energy exchanges and perceptions. So Ronnie says, call me when you get to Bloomington. There you go. I know I need to make it down there. I've just been, I need to catch up with some friends too. I haven't really done too much traveling. Hopefully Friday I get new tires. I need to do that because I got to go across state for my mom's birthday party. Got to do that. Oh, I already got a like. I appreciate that. And Robert is here, Eddie, Brian, and there's relationships I've had that, I've made some mistakes, others have made mistakes, but a lot of times, even just the perception really gets frustrating when two people don't see eye to eye. And sometimes you try to do the right thing. There's all these different, mental illnesses out there. And they always say, hurt people hurt people. And I just see that, whether it's sensitivity or low self-esteem and perceptions. I struggled with the perception of low self-esteem, exactly what that meant. And thank you for liking the live, Macaroni. I like that name. Juanito. And Bart is here. So, I started talking about the spiritual side of things. And, I see people justifying things that they're okay with. And sometimes people see that as like low self-esteem, like if you're polyamorous or whatever the situation is, that society has a certain view on it. Now, society is changing on things. Macaroni says, I will always see eye to eye with you, love. Oh, you got blue eyes. You got brown eyes? Aww. So, but when you kind of match it up to what we're supposed to do, like biblically, that's what's going to give us the best life and the guidelines. We can justify whatever we want to justify on how our self-esteem is in check. But when you start going down certain roads, it's going to eventually crush your self-esteem or lead you down a path that will lead to destruction. So Macaroni says, you're just the woman I'm looking for. What is it that you like? What is it that you like? That I have blue eyes? MSU football, the Duke of Dan. That's a cool name. I like your name. And Sharon is here. So I see people on Facebook. Like I said, there is a slight delay on Facebook, but feel free to comment. I will see it. I felt so bad yesterday on TikTok. Somebody asked for just like a double air hug. And Phil is joining us on YouTube. How are you today? Feel free to hit that like button. But we're going to talk about like feeling unlovable. Also the different struggles, how we sometimes take on responsibilities that aren't necessarily our responsibility. There are times that we do need to let go. There are times that we should work through relationships. And, the spiritual warfare that's out there, I'm worried that people are giving up way too soon. And I've been following this high value woman, or leading to a high value man. I can't remember the exact name, but this one guy had said, I could date anybody, but I choose to be you with you. I'm in love with you and I want to marry you. And so she focused on the fact that he said, I could date anybody else, or somebody, other people, but it's you I want to be with. So sometimes, is that necessarily a red flag? And, you know, some people are like, just leave him. He's not worth it. And it's like, he just said, I want to commit to you forever. But that little portion, that, do we give grace? Do we understand? Is he trying to say there's this, thousands of women, but you're the one I want to be with? Did he necessarily need to say that? So she took it to heart and it hurt her. And she was like, just go be with someone else. And instead of taking, what was it that he was really trying to say? Is he trying to say, I don't want to be with you, I'm forcing myself, I could be with better women? Or is he saying that out of all these women, you are my number one? You are the only one. Macaroni says, I'm gonna leave my number with you. All right, there we go. You might want to private message that though. Okay. So, Phil, what did you do today? Was it a good day? But so many people are quick to give the advice of just leave, break up. So with narcissistic abuse, there comes a point where you're like, this is not changing. We also have to recognize patterns, because people will do certain things. And there's, that's how we grow, and that's how we get to know each other. And we talked yesterday about how when I was growing up, they wanted the small butts, and now they, at least a couple of years ago, they wanted the big butts and the PHAT, where people are like, man, you got such a fat ass, and they're trying to compliment you. And it's not necessarily a compliment when that's not what you want to be. I mean, it is what it is. I'm okay with it. But, to where we're like, oh, I understand you now. There are times that people take things and they get hurt by it, but did the person really mean to hurt you? So are times that we have to give grace, and other times where, if they're not listening. Also, the difference between men and women, we have to start acknowledging that. I don't know exactly how it's going to turn out with people going through gender reaffirming, or whatever it's called, surgeries and hormonal treatments. I think some of the stuff we go through is hormonal, men as well. But I see a lot of unhappy people, and each and every one of us is lovable in some way. And, as long as we're growing each day, we're supposed to be growing. And I see some people want to give up, but there's so much good in life. And some of us have lost our purpose. We got to reconnect. What is our purpose? Sometimes it's even just to say hi to the old lady down the street. You just make, so it doesn't have to be like you're saving the world. You're just making a little difference in the world. And I know a lot of people don't realize how loved they really are. You might not be in contact with certain people, but, there are people that care about you. And I'm here as a support for you guys, trying to grow the platforms so we can do those meet and greets, make new friends. And, the dating world is scary. I don't necessarily want to do the online dating. So it'd be nice to have little situations where we can meet people. And it is important to heal before we fully get into a relationship, but it is okay to start dating. Just be aware, give yourself some time to process what you went through. The less hurt or broken, empty, whatever you guys choose to call it, the more whole you are, the better. And you're also going to match with more whole people. So if you're really broken right now, you'll probably match with somebody who's just as broken, or you have somebody who is trying to save you. And then once you are saved, it's almost like their purpose is gone and that relationship might not last. So Are you Oh, you know what's so funny? And my cousin it took me a second. That's so funny because like an hour ago, I just got out of the shower. I'm doing my hair and it's like flying all over when I'm drying it. And I almost did live chat with cousin it. That's so funny. So yeah, you want to see my cousin it? I'll do a cousin it for you. All right, here we go. We'll do cousin it. There we go. Why not, right? All right. Hold on, guys. Let's see. I can't see what I look like when I do that. How's that? It's so funny you said that. I was going to do a live chat with cousin it. How's that? There we go. I can still read. That is too funny. Today's the first day that I had that thought. It's the first day I had that comment. So we got somebody else joining. Run if you're being isolated by Masons and harassed. It's really hard. Trust again. Yeah, we have to see who we're talking to, and I need to do more research on the Masons. I know my dad did, and when I was a burn victim, they gave me really good ice cream. There was a parade, and they gave out those little cups of ice cream. But I don't know enough about that. They talk about like some cult type stuff. My ex's grandfather was a Freemason. A Shriner? Is that different? He was a Shriner. Is that part of the Masons? Is the Shriner part of the Masons? So I do need to do more research on that. My suggestion is if you're a very religious person, to be with somebody who is within that same belief system, because that way you grow. There are people that are like the secular religious, they just celebrate Santa instead of Jesus, or they just like dreidels instead of the full religion and latkes. But, spiritual growth. I see the likes. I can't see who's joining. Thank you for the likes. I don't know why it's not showing. So you got to comment so I can see you. I've been having problems with Facebook. So the more you guys can comment, I got to troubleshoot on Facebook. I don't know what's going on with it. But, and there's times that if we start feeling isolated, that, is it a situation we should get out of? And what's so hard about narcissistic abuse or even borderline, a lot of times that doesn't come out till later on. And also there are times that I see, whether it's reactive abuse, but we start hurting them. They started it, but then, there are times that we give them attitude back or this or that. We don't handle it in the best way. That's where it turns like toxic. So it's abusive, but it's also toxic. So even when like the abuse isn't going on, it's just a toxic environment where people aren't communicating, or the silent treatment, or giving attitude, building up resentment. Ron says there are a lot of different groups in the Masons. I was asked to join the Scottish Rite. They usually are Bible followers. What'd you say to them? Yeah, I get invited to the Illuminati. It's probably a scam. It's so funny. They're like, how would you like $500,000? And I'm like, no. Like, I'm not playing your game. That's so funny. That would suck if it was true. But Ron says there are levels to the position in their group. Duality, the checkerboard, good and evil. Oh, yes, the yin and yang. Yeah, and there's a lot of things in life that are tempting, but we don't want to sell our soul. And, protect your soul at all costs, So I got lots and lots of more people. I love seeing you guys. Feel free to show me some love. But none your business. Good to have you here. And demand. So yeah, there's a lot of things that like narcissists are kind of like the cult way of manipulation. They stroke your ego. They make you feel a part of something super special or unique for being chosen. And they put that, like a salesperson, you're like, oh, you only got 2 more days before this sale is gone, we need you to get it now. Or Temu, however you're supposed to say it, and simply misunderstood, I understand you, hello, how are you today? So Temu, I think it's supposed to be pronounced Temu, I say Timu, but but they use psychology in their sales. Hey, where did you get that? Where did I get what? Tell me and I will tell you. Where did I get what? That beautiful smile. You're sweet. Well, my mom and dad. Thank you, Snail King. Run says the Illuminati is dark. They are at the top of the pyramid. Eye of God is actually Lucifer, is what some believe. They don't like gifts led by Bible believers. Yeah, the Illuminati, like once you start studying it, and this is what sucks is, there's a lot of misinformation out there, and trying to weed through what is true, what is sensationalism, but with kind of some of the things you see, and some of the stories are crazy. A lot of evil, selling their souls. And you think about some of the stars that they have talent, but when you watch America's Got Talent or whatever, you're like, whoa, like I don't know why they didn't make it. Purpose of my life, just to say hi. I usually do like mental health, mental illness. My channel on YouTube deals with narcissistic abuse or toxic relationships, how to live the best life we can. So just opening it up and discussing whatever we want to discuss. So here to help you guys and build a community of friends. Chip says, you're so cute, such beautiful blue eyes. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So Joel, what do you like? What kind of lives do you like? Run says they're into owls, Malik, Baal, Baphomet. They believe the illusion is you think you have control of your life. Now, there are some things that we can control. There are also things that we can't. Like I can control, am I going to go to work today? I can be lazy. Sometimes we have to give ourselves that motivation, and that brings blessings, but COVID's going around my school. So am I in charge of if I'm going to get COVID or not? Maybe a little bit. If I quit my job, I do have that kind of control. Or, sometimes there's a car accident out of the blue. There was a deer that ran right across. Oh my gosh, lucky I didn't get hit by that. So certain things we can't necessarily control, or like those people that were on that plane today. They were just, everything seems fine. They're going to wherever they were going, and the cabin didn't pressurize. So like a lot of them, their eardrums popped and blood coming out of their ears. So were they in control of that? Not necessarily. Yes, they had the control to either go or turn away, but they didn't know the errors that were going to happen. So those kind of things. But Run says they manipulate things around people by using members to monitor people. They can make you rich, or they can make life hard for you, even make people homeless. It's covert control, human trafficking. And that's how they entice people. And it's a scary world out there. And I think, I see this, and it's really interesting. I'm very thankful for you guys. This is not a complaint at all. I'm very thankful for you guys. But I see like different people with like mental illnesses who are just sharing their story, which is fine. But there's others that are like in extreme mental illness that is presenting itself right in front of your eyes, whether it's addiction or just like off the wall type stuff. I saw one lady yesterday who just had like the messiest, I'm sure there's messier, but a super messy place. And, people are trying to help her and they're donating. And, the lady in addiction that they're donating and just, get yourself something to eat and this and that. And it's like, um, people, that's that attention seeking and people focus on that. And as a teacher, even in the classroom, it's kind of sad that the good ones are like self-sufficient and they're kind of neglected or overlooked, or they don't get the attention because the attention goes to the other people. So these other creators are scaling up the followers, and sometimes it's that shock and awe. um it's interesting, and I think sometimes part of it is things that we might have felt repressed. Like if we had to be the good girl, we might want to see what the bad girl's life was like. And so it's interesting. And we're like, oh my gosh, how does she do that? And there's some appeal to it. Instead of being whole within yourself or like, the heck. But Run says it's about power, being an icon, highly active in Hollywood and entertainment. People love the fame. Fame is definitely something people are drawn to. Hi, how are you? Is that James? James Smith. Nice to have you here. 4704. You met JoJo Siwa. She is a cult baby. She's not aware. I warned her. What was she like when you met her? How long ago? Yeah, JoJo Siwa. I want to study her more. Yeah, there's something to her. And she is, I did a video on her about how she's like, oh my gosh, I am the most hated person for the music video. Like she was all geeked. Like I am the best. I mean, granted, when people comment and they say something mean, it's like, okay, well, you're just helping me with the algorithm. I got a lot of comments, but I don't celebrate it. Especially it's not a goal I want. And to go from the bright and happy to the dark. And I saw somebody too where they're like, and I can't judge her, I don't know, but they're like, she's not gay. She is not gay. But sometimes people just want to latch onto something, and how invested she is in her sexuality. I think that's kind of a red flag. I'm not sitting here like talking about my sexuality like to the extreme. Her whole identity has become, it's almost like outside. She needs that label to have an identity instead of just being herself. And I mean, if she likes girls, she likes girls, but just be whole in yourself and do what you're going to do. But she's trying to find herself, and she wants to reinvent, kind of like you hear, and this is stereotypical. So it's a stereotype, which I'm not trying to say is a truth, but you hear about like the Catholic schoolgirl who is just so repressed and not allowed to do anything. And then she goes a little wild and crazy because she was too monitored and repressed. So it's almost like JoJo's acting out, trying to change herself because she doesn't like who she is. She also had a lot of trauma, even though it's kind of like Stockholm syndrome with her, Abby, her dance instructor, that she's like, no, I'm very thankful for how she treated me. I'm very thankful. And how loud she is. I get loud every now and then, but she's just, some of it might be partially an act, but she's kind of attention seeking. So she was older. She has mental issues. The only thing I think, I did a thing. I don't think she's been diagnosed, at least publicly. Hi, James, and hi, who is this? Let me see. I gotta scroll it down. Hi, Jorge. Good to have you here. So I think it's only anxiety, maybe it was depression or anxiety, one of the two. Heavenly says, oh my God, it's my favorite TikToker on live. Hi, Heavenly. Feel free to hit the good to have you. How was your day? So we're talking about JoJo Siwa. If you ever watch Dance Moms, you see her when she was young and how they pushed her so much. It's no wonder why she's like she is. She didn't have a voice. Like there were times, she's like, you just keep yelling at me, and I don't want to do this, and I'm uncomfortable, or I'm not ready. And sometimes you can encourage, but she was just like a little puppet. And um Abby was like horrible to her. Ron says JoJo is pretty rude, actually. She speaks her mind even if she is wrong. Yeah, and her yeah, I can see that. I can see that. But she's so wild, and uh it's interesting, like to do her little Karma's a bitch. She just kept doing it over and over and over and over. Like, I don't know. I would think she'd get more creative, maybe do it 1 to 10 times, but I don't even know, 100 videos of the same thing. Different outfits, but she has been diagnosed. Most famous people are product of cult abuse, grooming a lot of times. She has been diagnosed. What do you mean? It's good, Dixie. I'm sorry. I got my dog. It's good. It's good, honey. It's okay. It's good. It's okay. I scared my dog. So Heavenly, how was your day? Kane Scotty is here. We are talking about JoJo Siwa. I'm dressed up. It was funny. I dressed up as JoJo Siwa one year as kind of like her little rainbow type, not the dark karma, but what? I've been diagnosed with. So she has been open clinical depression. November 30th, she's been on antidepressants. So, and this is what's interesting and this shows you a lot of it is the brain, because she's got a ton of money. She's talented. I think she's cute. She's had relationships. One, it sounded like screwed her over. I don't know the true dynamics, but it's almost like, oh my gosh, like you have people adoring you. Now she's getting some hate, but good evening, Phantom. We're talking about JoJo Siwa. Should I put my hair up? Get my little bow. I do have a JoJo Siwa bow. They claim she has a mental diagnosis. Yeah, here, clinical depression or major depressive disorder. And I guess they diagnosed her when she was 18. So I think the pressure to get fame is why she is like she is. And some of it is probably being encouraged. Some of it, it's interesting when you put on different clothes. It can make you feel different. Just like if I put on a nice dress and had my hair and makeup done, I feel a little bit more confident. Sometimes you can wear, sassy outfits or whatever, but the glitz and glam and the glitter can kind of affect her personality too. And I truly believe that. I am doing good, Phantom, my number one. Look at that. My number one. How's that sound? And thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate that. And thank you, Gary. So today was a good day. We had a little pizza party at school for one of the students, and we ended up going out, me and the tutors, to Taqueria, which I thought was a name, but if you're not using it, would you be willing? I don't know. My sister's messaging me. It was a nice time, and I can't remember what it's called. I just tried it. I didn't get a drink, but it's actually pretty good. It has a little funky little spice on top. Began with the letter C. I don't know. Do you remember what that was? Had tequila in it. I'm not a big drinker. So Run says, that's why I said covert cult infiltration. They set you up with relationships with damaged people. And it's easy to be tempted by that. That's why, they talk about you're the product of the 5 people that you're around the most. And, we should all build each other up. So, thank you for the rose, Phantom. Oh, my first gifter of the night. Look at that. Oh my gosh. And you're generous. You're always so generous with me. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Runs as a character in a game that based off JoJo and the Bows. So near automation a character with a bow based off of her. Ah. So yeah, she had her little signature. And also too, like she was saying, a lot of people say that she has like a bald spot right here. And a lot of people think it's because of, like when you pull your hair up, it can start breaking. But she would like fiddle with her hair and pull it out. So that's like an anxiety thing. And she did it so much that it's not growing back. Oh my gosh, look at all those gifts. Holy smokes. Yay. I'm quitting my job tonight so I can just talk to you guys. You're so sweet. And thank you. I got a nice little compliment. You look great. Thank you. I appreciate that. The character in the game. Yeah. And the cutesy little thing. You see a lot of anime. Oh, mozzarella or cheddar. Christopher, I'll tell you what. When I'm on a diet, mozzarella, because it's only, I think, 80 calories, and cheddar is like 120. Depends on what it is. So sometimes I use mozzarella on my salads, or I use Colby Jack. I grew up, we always had cheddar. Look at that. Oh, thank you so much. Reminder to bring for Saturday the suitcase. Oh, I'm getting messages from my sister. I have some of her inheritance stuff that I have to drop. I picked it up from the house before they closed. The Phantom says, been a long day for myself. Just wanted to say good evening. Hope you have a wonderful session. And thank you so much for brightening my day. And look at that, hands, heart, and everything. You touch my heart. Thank you. I appreciate that. And take care. I'll see you soon. I'll be on again. So thank you. Have a great day tomorrow. And Ron says they said she was sick also for a while. Sick as in that's probably the depression. So yeah, I wonder if it was like mental health issues, or she didn't have like a physical ailment, did she, other than the things that go along with that? Thank you so much. Take care. And Jim is here. Run says, I was telling you, I met a lot of famous people, hung out with some. I learned a lot about what goes on. It's a very stressful job mentally. And I have an uncle who is a movie producer, and he lives in LA, and he knows a lot of famous people too. I think it was a type of cancer. Ooh, let's see. What cancer? And then I'll write what cancer? Let's see. Really? Hold on. She launched her own cancer charity. Really? Geez, it's too much information. That Miller was, who is it? Oh, Abby Lee Miller. That's Abby. Abby had cancer. So her dance teacher, what illness has, yeah, I'm just getting clinical depression. Are you sure it's not just Abby? What do you guys think? Depression and anxiety. She reveals dyslexia diagnosis. Pink nose sparked concerns with fans. She had a nosebleed video. JoJo I don't know. I'm not seeing it. I don't know. But she does have a cancer foundation. So there are times that they do, nice things. But, I don't know. It's almost like when things are good, they're good. And when they're not, they're not. So I don't know if, it's hard to tell when things are going good for someone because, a lot of good people can even have depression. And, when things are going good for people, it doesn't really show, but they're not going to throw a little temper tantrum because they're getting what they want. There's no need to throw the temper tantrum. Um, so the entitlement isn't, I mean, you can still see some of it, but yeah. Ron says, yeah, there was some sort of something that happened. I warned her the powers that control them and they can make big money. And people are drawn to that money, and there's always a trade-off on things, that a lot of us strive, and I kind of struggle with this, that, we're striving to make money. It's comforting to have money. I don't use it to like boast or show off, but I use it to, it's just me. I'd like a little cushion or a little comfort so I'm not stressing about things. But, there's a trade-off, and it's sad that a lot of younger than me, young families are struggling with money that they don't have time to spend with their families. And, I think our purpose, how God said, go forth and procreate, we're meant not to just raise neglected people. We're meant to spread love and learn and support each other. So money is a temptation, people do a lot of crazy things for money. And, once you get into a certain lifestyle, you start to become accustomed to it. And what does it say? Butthole likes money. I get it. I get it. I like money too. I do like money too. So, but sometimes too, when we're a workaholic, that can be a trauma response where we're just working so much to either we don't feel good enough, so we're trying to prove ourselves, or we're trying to like escape from, family life. Like, this is too overwhelming. I'm going to go do my own thing. So Run says, to her, I was just a peasant, but I tried to explain I am a believer and I have a gift, but it's one you can't see. Spiritual gift. She was a bit confused. She did acknowledge what I said. You article interview? Is that I article interview? How'd you get into doing that? Butthole says, money gets me tummy rubs. Well, there you go. That could, But Hollywood is here. You guys share. And David is joining us. So money is a root of all evil, though. But, what was it? Travis Kelce, he just had on his little Gucci golf outfit. How much did he spend on it? Like $7,000 or $14,000, and I think it's $7,500. It's like, why would you spend that much money on a sweater and shorts? Like they're very wasteful with it too. And they have the money, but they don't always make the wisest decisions. And Ron says in an article interview, she quoted you. So yeah, there are some spiritual gifts. Hi, gorgeous. Thank you so much for the compliment. And Adam, nice to have you here all the way from Wisconsin. I'm in Michigan, not too far away from you in Michigan. So probably had the same accent as you do. It was her way of letting me know she understood what I was talking about without dropping my name. Okay. Yeah, sometimes they get it. You have a pen and paper? Yes, I do. Good evening from Ohio. Thank you, Ricky. Go Buckeyes. Buckeyes candy, a little chocolate and peanut butter. All right, I'll go for that. Go Buckeyes. I know a lot of my family went to U of M, and my dad taught there, and cousins were in the marching band. Sister was varsity synchronized swimming, and my brother went to law school. And Oh, so Adam, right now, I am beyond busy. If you want to do a one-on-one, I do one-on-ones, but I'm kind of like behind on everything. So um yeah, it's I talk to so many people. So now is not a good time to just have like social time. This is my social time with you guys. So if you'd like to interact with me, I am here for you. But Adam, thank you. Why are you sorry, Ricky? What'd you say? I'm not mad at you. And Cowboy, Virginia Cowboy. Why are you sad? So, yeah, no need to be sorry. Debbie, finally here. Good to have you. How was the day today? Hopefully Liam had a good day too. And yeah, we were talking about the energy at school. There's a lot of Adam says, I'd rock your world better than any man you have ever had. Well, I haven't had that many, so that's not a big that's not a big challenge. But Debbie, good to have you here. And oh, did you see that? That's kind of cool how that lit up. You didn't see that on TikTok. That was pretty. I need to hire people to drive by. So far, it's so weird how TikTok saw it. Right now, I have TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube open. Hi, JJ. Jay, that has not flickered like that. We were talking, I don't know, was it a spiritual thing? The light was like flickering like crazy, and I even asked for a sign and it flickered again. It was like a major flicker. No cars were driving by. My dog wasn't walking by. And is it Seltzer? Good to have you here, Seltzer. Run says, I try to stay out of Hollywood craziness. I don't want paparazzi snooping around me. I have been harassed by them once. When, see, it's got that heart right there. When my Selma Hayek, when meeting, why does it have that heart right there? That's the worst place to put it. Put it up top. Yeah, it's right over that word, and you can't see it unless I can't scroll it up because it's way at the bottom. That's a terrible thing. When I met Selma Hayek. Okay. Debbie says the kid hit him. Was that yesterday or they? Okay. So you did tell me that the kid hit her grandson who's in third grade. And plus they had a meeting. He said the teacher separated him away from the kid. Do they have any like consequences set up if that happens again? Are they understanding? Yeah, I'm sorry he's going through that. At least, you know, do you know how the teacher reacted? And Mark is here, golfer. The kid still hit him today, 2 days in a row. Ooh, how'd Liam react today? That's making me mad. Hold your applause. I'm here. Oh, you said hold my applause. Good to have you here, ladies man. What have you been up to? And bald head smooth. So good to have you. We've been waiting. Now we can start. So there's a lot of bullying. We had issues with that today too. And sometimes people start getting hypersensitive if they go through too much bullying. He sounds like such a good kid. Ron says they're a raspy. They call themselves stars and idols. There are a lot of dark evil in Hollywood behind the money and the riches. Yeah, and I just heard one of her, I guess, new songs, and you can tell she's starting to get raspy. She probably has some damage to her vocal cords, but you can kind of hear it over the auto tune now. And, you know, the song sounded okay, but it's still like, why did they pick her? Because she's changing away from her core followers, you know. And same with Taylor Swift, though. Taylor Swift is getting a little bit more adult or risque. So Debbie says, I didn't get a chance to talk to her. Leah said, I'm not fighting you. Good, good. And that takes strength. So, because a lot of times too, when you start the fighting, you gotta be careful that they're not going to gang up on him. And Ron says lots of abuse and hidden rituals. There are so many crazy rituals and, human trafficking and a lot of underground stuff. And, I wish it was easier to just be able to believe, like to that's what I have a hard time with is I do a lot of research and I just want to make sure that I give you guys the right information. There's so much and to verify everything is really hard. Um Run says lots of singer stars pick up smoking cigarettes, which makes their voice more raspy and deep. That's why Miley's voice sounds like it does now. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Plus, she's a little bit loud too. But JoJo just screams. And I don't think let's see. I think she might have had a cigarette or two or something, but I don't think she really smokes for Jojo Siwa. But great, thank you for liking the live. Did Jojo Siwa the untold truth? I don't know. This might be. I don't know. What am I on? Am I this one? Does Jojo Siwa vape? Let's see. What do you think? I don't know. Too much research. I'll have to do that when I'm not talking to you guys. And Frankenstein is here. Shadow, nice to have you guys here. So Debbie says the kid wanted to fight, but he said, I'm not fighting with you, so go away. I guess he's hitting his friends now too. Oh my goodness. Run is here. I know a lot about it, but yet I don't want to be in it. I've given famous people ideas to make money, but I never got paid anything. Oh well. And that's kind of where we have to protect ourselves too. That I had a friend, he did a lot of designs, also music, extremely talented. He passed away, but like he had something with like the take Quiero Taco Bell type thing. He had something, and I think Who Let the Dogs Out. I don't know. He had a couple things that he had some ideas that he came up with before these things went viral, and people stole his ideas. So be careful what you share with people if you want to make money off of it. You have to protect yourself, and that's kind of a learning lesson, So you offered it up, you gave it to them, you didn't have like a contract. So sometimes, it'd be nice if people kick you like, hey, you just made me $1,000. Here's 10%. Here's your $100. But it doesn't always work that way. Ron says, I helped train a guy with his basketball shot. He's in the NBA. He never said anything about me helping. Oh, well. And, there's times too, though, that we're not always going to get, credit. I was a physical education teacher. I doubt if one of these kids, we had one, he's pretty good. He might go pro. He's still so young. It's hard to tell, but I don't think he's going to go. Miss Schiller did a great job. She was, I did encourage him, but, just that's why, we should give freely. If you're trying to make money off of it, then protect yourself. There's nothing wrong with making money off of your ideas because it's helping other people. It can help you too. And that's kind of like the balance that we can learn in relationships too, is where we help each other. Thank you for that follow, John. Because so many of us just give and give and give. And it's like, I ended up with nothing. And are you deaf? Derek, are you deaf? I don't know how to. Huh? Hello. Good to have you. My name is Cindy. There we go. Thank you for the follow. Run maybe you will get rewarded some way down the road when you least expect it. Yeah. Good point, Debbie, because sometimes we don't always see. So, were you deaf? Were you deaf? Do you know sign language? I know a little bit. I know a little bit. WV. Is that West Virginia? What's the WV? And Bill and Gary. John is here. So we don't always see our blessings, or they come way down the road. I've even talked about some of the times that I thought my life was devastated. It was actually a blessing in disguise. I talked about, the one guy that I really loved and had to be with in 10th grade. He ended up murdering his girlfriend. And I think he's still doing time for it. And, I was protected. So may she rest in peace. But, I remember, like, why can't I be with him? Looking back, I'm glad I'm not. He also went down a path. So it was like 10th grade that I kind of went on a couple dates with him. And then I ran into him. I think I was around 21. I ran into him at a bar in Chicago. And, he ended up getting into, doing the white stuff. And Turbo Man is here. Also, he was a mess. Ren says, "Oh, I've been screwed over a ton. It's okay, though. God got me." Nikki, female rapper, has a line that I gave her. What line is it? Debbie says, "Run. Try to stop helping and apply that wisdom you have for yourself." That is true. Ren says, "I talked to her in a dang mini mart about rap and gave her a rap hook line." I gave somebody a rap line. I don't know if I should tell you what the rap line is. You want to hear the rap line? It was a rapper. He made the song and published it, or how you word it. I was like 18. I was just joking. 6-foot Cindy with a 10-inch tongue. So as in a video. So, because we were joking, but yeah. 6-foot Cindy with a 10-inch tongue. That's in a rap song. I talked to her in a dang mini mart. So she used the line in a very popular rap song. It was all over the radio. So what do you think about my creativity? I grew up right by Eminem. Maybe that's why I have such a talent. It was very inappropriate, but it rhymed. So you say not if you wrap it up in silicone. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, and sometimes people do purposely steal stuff. Sometimes they forget where they heard it. Sometimes, just like, have you guys ever tried to create something, like whether it's a unique email address and you're like, there's no way anybody has this. You're like, it's taken. I've had some great ideas. And I'm like, oh, that's already out there. So yeah. Sometimes people do have the same thoughts, but yeah, that one's probably more unique. Ron says she hadn't had all that plastic surgery yet. Is it just Nikki? Is that just her name? Is that Nicki Minaj? And this is JGL coming at you live. Okay. Huh. So I got a lot of people joining, but I'm actually getting really tired. So I'm going to have to close it up for tonight. Merlin is here. Debbie, keep me posted on sweet little Liam. And thank you for interacting, helping each other. And we're going to keep growing this community, but I do need some rest tomorrow. So for tomorrow. So yeah, give him a big hug. And Ron says I met Drake also more than once and chopped it up. Pretty cool. Macaroni says you still here. Baby, make sure you check your messages. All right, Macaroni Tony. I will. Thanks so much for joining, guys. Sorry, I'm tired. I'm going to do one more video before I go to bed. So you got 2 seconds. Tell me if you want me to do a special video for you guys. Any special toodles, ladies, man. And they're just people, but they're in underbelly. There you go. I agree. They're just people, but they are controlled. A lot of them. Ciao, Bella. Ciao. And you're so sweet. Thank you, ladies, man. I see you on both. So, all right, no special requests. All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, good night, guys. Thanks so much. See you tomorrow.